All right, good morning. Welcome back to Two Bros, Two Perspective podcast. I'm JJ.
I'm Steven. What's going on, everybody?
We're doing the early morning podcast again this week. 7 in the morning wake up call. No, more early than that, but
Yeah,
7
yeah.
a.m. Get started.
Yeah, a little tired today, but I text JJ during the week. We did that early morning last week and kind of liked it.
Yeah.
Got home, relaxed all day. Didn't have
Mhm.
to get up 6 o'clock, come over here,
Yeah.
which I don't mind that either. But I like having the day, so I rather get stuff
Yeah, and
done
then in the
early. And
evening, sometimes I'm rushing back from the
yeah,
store or whatever, so makes it a little bit more relaxing.
yeah. But here we are, Sunday morning, a little rainy outside. You just got back from your trip, Arizona. How'd that go?
Arizona was cool. We flew in Monday morning. Our airplane was delayed, so plans changed a little bit. We were supposed to hit the Grand Canyon day one, but we ended up getting there too late. So we hit the Grand Canyon second day. First day, we kind of just went and took a trip from Phoenix. We stayed in Flagstaff, which is about 2 hours away from the airport. So we just pretty much hit the road. I think we got brunch in Phoenix and then hit the road to Flagstaff. But since we couldn't check in till like 3 o'clock, we Googled some stuff and hit a couple trails on the way to the Airbnb. We found this national park where they had like some um, like where the Indians used to live inside the mountain. Like they built rooms and caves inside the mountain, and it was turned into a national park because
Okay.
like I guess over time the erosion kind of made like windows
Yeah, yeah.
to their little caves and stuff. So you can't go up there, but you can like kind of see inside what they had and stuff like
Why
that.
can't you go up there? Too dangerous, or
Dangerous, and it's just preserved, I guess.
I
You know,
got
they
you.
don't
Want
want
nobody
people going
fucking
up
it up?
there and acting stupid and stuff like that.
Got you.
Or graffiti or whatever. So
Yeah, that's true.
did some stuff there, and then still had some time, so we headed back still up north, and we found another trail, and we did a little trail there, um, and we saw a sign that was for Devil's Bridge. Right, I
Okay.
hadn't heard of Devil's Bridge, but I think Cynthia had heard of it. She's like, "Oh, this is the place," and we looked it up. I think it was getting close to like 5 o'clock at that time, right? And it they said about 3 hour round trip. So we're like,
Okay.
nah, we're not gonna make it back to before it gets dark. So it's probably another time to come back. But it was something that we wanted to do and wanted to see. So we just got some groceries and hit the Airbnb after that because it was a long day. I woke up like about 3 in the morning. We were supposed no, woke up at 2, and we wanted to be at the airport by 4:45 or something like that. But then our airplane got delayed.
What
So
caused the delay? Was no rain, was
no, I don't know.
it? Wind?
They didn't say. The whole flight got canceled, and they pushed it to the second one. So maybe this wasn't enough people on the airplane or
Okay,
something.
I got you.
So, anyways, we chilled that night, and the next morning was a Grand Canyon trip. Um, and we knew we were gonna get there early,
Yeah.
right? The park opens at 9, and we're like, let's get some gas, and we'll hit the road early, get some breakfast on the way, and it's all mountains, right?
Yeah.
I think I said like it's just driving through like West Texas, right? There's nothing on the way but over there it's mountains and trees. Really
Okay.
nice driving. There was still snow on the ground in some areas, like I guess
Yeah.
that don't get much sun from the trees and stuff. So there was still snow up there. Um, and it's about an hour and a half from the Airbnb to the Grand Canyon. So we found a little Mexican spot, like right outside the Grand Canyon.
Yeah. So where y'all are at, is it like city?
No,
No. So
Mm-mm.
what's describe what's around your Airbnb? Desert,
No, it's
cactus,
it's mountains and trees. We're like in the
neighbors.
forest. Yeah, there's neighbors.
Okay.
It's we were like in a neighborhood in the mountains.
Okay. So y'all were actually in the mountains,
Yeah.
not like
Uh-huh.
in a neighborhood
Oh
Airbnb.
no, we were in the
Okay,
mountains.
got you.
So
That's
in
pretty
order to
cool.
get everywhere we were going, we're either having to go up the mountain or down the mountain.
Y'all hear any wildlife? Coyotes,
I didn't hear nothing, but I'm
bears?
sure they were out there. It's like the movies where you go through those winding roads.
Yeah.
It was like that. Um, so we get to Grand Canyon. They open at 9. We probably pulled up about 9:15 after we ate, and the line was probably about 20 to 30 minutes out because they
Yeah,
have signs. It
yeah.
says 30-minute wait from here, an hour wait from here, whatever,
Not too
whatever.
bad. 30 minutes.
So we get in, and we get in with no plan. We don't know what we're gonna see or what there is to see or what's even at the park or whatever because it's a national park, right? And we get in there and we find the visitor center, find some parking there, which it was already getting full. So if you go, I suggest you go super early. And we get the map. They give us a map on the way in, and it just shows bus lines, which we didn't even know there was buses,
Yeah.
right? So pretty much you can go from one end to the other end, and there's stops along the way. Like every couple minutes, there's a stop, 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 and so we jump on the bus and we maybe go two stops and get off the bus, and you look over the edge and it's like, wow, this is the Grand Canyon.
Yeah. How close can you get to the edge? Do they
You
have
can get on the
barriers?
edge. You can get on the edge.
But they don't have barriers, so
Some areas there is, but a lot of areas there's not. There's
so
no
you could
barriers.
easily fall.
You can fall, but you can. There's access to go to trails to go down.
Okay,
So you
okay.
can go from the top, because you're on the very edge on the top,
Yeah.
looking down, and you can go to trail all the way to the bottom.
Kind of scary? Nah.
At first, I think it's just too to
Overwhelming?
be scared. Yeah,
Okay. No, versus instead of being scared, just overwhelmed.
yeah, of how big it is, and
Now, when you see it, is it a heart stopper? Like, oh
it
shit.
is. It's one
Yeah.
of those things where it's just like, damn, I've seen pictures or videos, but when you put your eyes on it, there's no describing it.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no like,
Pictures can't do that
oh hell
justice.
no,
No,
they
that's on
can't.
my bucket list. That Niagara Falls, maybe even
Niagara Falls would be nice too. Yeah,
that'd be
yeah.
pretty cool. Or
Hmm.
what's the one with the president's faces on it?
Oh, that's
If I didn't bring it up, I'd know it. Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore. Sounds pretty
Shit
cool.
like that.
Yeah,
So Grand
uh-huh.
Canyon definitely is something I'd like to see.
Yeah. So you can look at it two ways, right? And I thought about it as we were going to the next stop, to the next stop, to the next stop. Is okay. I looked down, I saw it, it's beautiful, whatever. But how many angles do you need to see
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
Grand Canyon, right? But then you stop and you look again. It's like, oh shit, okay, I get it. But um, me and Tony went. Well, all three of us went down one trail, and they're not easy because it's pretty much straight down. But there's some areas where there's kind of curves to go down a little bit easier. But as people were coming up, you could see they were just dying. They're just like
yeah.
done, like done. Like I can't. I need to hurry up and get to the top or whatever. So Cynthia was like, "Oh hell no!"
She
She was
was
already getting
done.
tired,
Ain't doing it.
and she seen the people coming up. She's like, "Nah, I'm gonna wait for you on top." So me and Tony go about 40 minutes more down, and supposedly it's a 3-hour trip down to the river.
Damn.
So that's 6 hours back and forth. And we didn't want to leave her up there that long or spend the whole day just on one trail. We
Yeah.
just wanted to see other parts of the park too. So we ended up going all the way to the end. And I think as the further you get, the higher you go, right? Even though you're on the edge in the beginning,
Yeah.
I think somehow you end up going higher because those trails, some of them were like towards the end, they're like this overnight stay.
Damn.
Like,
That'd be badass
yeah,
though.
like you start going down and there's like safe houses or something to stay at. They don't recommend you going all the way down in the dark or whatever.
I got you. I got you.
So so we saw the park and it was cool. They have the visitor center. They have a couple of souvenir areas. They have a grocery store, um,
Now, why would
post
you need a
office.
grocery store? I guess for that overnight stay.
Overnight or get snacks or
Okay.
drinks. If you don't come prepared with anything,
Yeah, yeah.
water. And the grocery store they have like a sandwich spot, pizza spot,
Okay,
burger
okay.
spot.
Well, like you said, you could spend all day there, so you might get
You
hungry.
can, and I heard people saying they go back for like 3 4 days in a row.
Damn.
I don't know why, but
Let me ask you this. Now, I know y'all were there for Anthony. Of course, he loves nature. If Anthony wasn't there, would there be a point where you'd be like, all right, you ready to go? We done seen the shit. Let's get out of here.
me, yes, but not. I think Cynthia was,
Oh, she was more
yeah,
into it than you.
she was really into it. And when I kind of mentioned that, we seen it, and she was like, just how can you think that way, right? But like I said, when you get off the next stop and you're like, okay, I see this,
I got
because
you.
in those areas where we can actually see down to the river, and it was pretty cool to see the water down there. Um, I wouldn't go back personally. I
Okay.
think it's, for me at least, you go to Grand Canyon, you see it, and I
What else
don't.
is there to see?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it ain't gonna change.
Unless you're gonna like take a trip down to the river, um, or a different kind of trip to the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe
Which
the other side of Nevada or whatever.
I got you. I
Mhm.
got you. Yeah, I'd like to go out there. I don't know if y'all did it or not because you didn't mention it. The glass cliff that
Yeah,
you walk on. You know what I mean? It cracks and shit. You
I
see
think that
videos all
was
the time.
Nevada side, and we didn't see that. The only thing I would recommend, like, if you're gonna go and you want to see certain things like that, make a trip for that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like I said, we didn't have a plan. We just were like, we're gonna go to Grand Canyon, and when we get there, we'll see what there
Well,
is.
that's a little odd for you, right? Aren't you usually, like you said, you're pretty
When we're taking these trips like this, not really.
okay,
We just
okay.
kind of, we know where we're staying, and we'll kind of look around to see what there is around there. And like I said, when we left the airport heading north, we just kind of googled what's around here
I got you.
type stuff, and we found that other little park with trails that said Devil's Bridge were on the way to the Airbnb. So we stopped there. So we planned that for the third day.
Devil's Bridge.
Devil's Bridge. So
Okay.
it's pretty much a like a, I guess the water eroded this little area and made it like a little arch, and on top of the arch is a bridge,
Okay.
and it's in the middle of nowhere. So it's funny. It makes me think, like, how did they find this stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Who found it, or when did they find it, and who made the trail to get up there, and whatever, whatever. But it's about an hour and a half hike to
Okay.
get there, right? And there's signs when you park. They're like, Devil's Bridge is this way, and you just follow the trail, and you end up on a road, like a dirt
Okay.
road. And there are tours that will take you up there, um, to a certain part, and then you still have to
Go
hike.
the rest.
We had a jeep. We rented a jeep, but I didn't want to take the jeep through there. I don't never get the insurance,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I didn't
Yeah,
want
they
to like
get your ass on that one.
bust the axle, or hit the bottom with the rock, because there still are big rocks out there. And so, anyways, we hiked it hour and a half, and the hike's not easy. First of all, it's rough terrain with all the rocks and stuff, and then it's a lot of climbing,
Okay.
like steep climbs. Like somehow
Did you buy hiking shoes or you just wearing
we
your
have we have hiking shoes
okay.
because we used to do the trails out here, and we went to Utah, and when we went to San Diego, we did some hiking. So we had the hiking
Y'all are
shoes already.
prepared.
Yeah, so it's just tough when you take a big bottle of water to go up there,
Yeah.
to because you got to climb.
Okay.
So it's about an hour and a half walk, hike, or whatever, and you get there, and there's a line, right? So the line, when we got there, the line was about 30 minutes long. And what you do is you can go on the bridge, but it doesn't take you nowhere. You just
Okay.
So you have to go on. You give your camera or your phone to the person behind you. They take the pictures for you, and then you get off. Right.
How high is it?
I want to say it's at least two, not 2,000 feet. At least 6 stories high.
Damn, pretty high.
That's pretty high. Yeah.
So if it was made by the water eroding it, how do you climb up? Is there something to hold on? Are you wobbling like hoping you don't fall off or how does that work?
So when you look at it from off, it looks like a 2 foot wide, um, bridge or access or whatever. But when you get on, it's about 6 feet wide.
Okay.
But it's stable. I mean, you don't feel it moving or anything. It's
Yeah.
just rocks. It's pretty much rocks. So when you get there, there's the access to it, and then people are taking pictures, and you get off. You be mindful of everybody waiting and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Fuck 'em.
but at the same time, it's an hour and a half hike.
Yeah.
So I know we took a lot of pictures. The lady who took our pictures for us, she took about 1,000 pictures, but just was
Damn.
like, pam, 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 pam.
Yeah, yeah.
getting a bunch of them. But we did like we go out there, we do one pose.
Took up all that fucking storage in iPad.
Yeah, we do one pose, and they tell you turn around, so they get your back and look like looking over the cliffs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And then I think we sat down, and Tony did one by himself, and then me and Cynthia did one by ourselves. So it's like 2 or 3 minute
yeah.
every person or whatever, you know.
I got you. I got you.
So then
But
after that, it's just then we gotta head back.
because it's airport time, right?
Not yet. We were
Well,
there
that
early.
day.
Yeah, I think we left. We got there about 9, and we had to be at the airport by 5 o'clock. So we had a lot of time. So 9 to 11. So we leave there close to about 12. By the time we get out of there and we go get some lunch, and we're just tired. We're beat. Like
Shit, I bet.
that trip. That one got us. Like for
Yeah.
real. Yeah, that one got us because it was just the climbing and climbing down, and then that's it started getting warm. The sun. It wasn't hot, but the sun was beating down.
Yeah, yeah,
Right. And so we get some lunch and we start heading back. That area that's in is called Sedona, and Sedona is still in the mountains, but it's really nice.
yeah.
It's like a lot of shopping, and it was a Wednesday, let's say about noon, 1 o'clock, and there was no parking anywhere.
Damn.
Let's say it's kind of like not, I wouldn't say like downtown because there's not buildings, but let's say Bishop Arts times 10,
Mm,
right, with all
okay.
the shops and everything, but no parking.
Packed.
So we're like, damn. And so we're like, let's just head towards Phoenix then.
Yeah.
See what's in Phoenix. We still gotta buy a couple of souvenirs and stuff like that. So head towards Phoenix, and like we're probably in mid 60-degree weather up there where we're at. If we start heading down, you can see the temperature on the car, outside temperature going
Yeah.
up. Phoenix is like in the 90s.
Yeah, yeah. I've been to Phoenix once. It's
So
fucking
that's
hot.
how big of a difference, I guess how high we were compared to going down to Phoenix.
Yeah,
And the drive is nice, like I said, there's nothing, but it's not like driving through Texas, nothing, right?
yeah.
It's
There's nothing but there's shit to see.
Yeah, there's mountains and forests and that kind of stuff. And
Yeah,
so we get there and then get to the airport a little early because we're like, there ain't shit else to do. We got to
yeah.
turn in the Jeep, and we got to the airport a little bit early. What did we get? Some food at the airport, and just chill till the time to go.
So how did Anthony like it?
Oh, he loved it. He had a good time. Yeah,
Yeah.
he had a real
Was he
good time.
ever at the point where like I'm tired, or he was like go go go, let's
He
go?
was go till the ride back to Phoenix. I think. I
Okay,
think.
but it was already over by
Yeah,
then,
yeah,
so
yeah,
the adrenaline
yeah.
had stopped, and he was tired.
Yeah, that's his kind of trip though. But like I said, it was something that we've wanted to do too.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
the
So
Grand
scratch
Canyon.
off the bucket list, or hey, let's plan Phoenix in 2 more years and let's do
I
it
wouldn't go
again.
back unless, let's see, would I go back to Arizona for anything else? The only thing I would go back to Arizona for is spring
Baseball
training.
games.
Yeah, spring training.
All
That's
right.
my bucket list.
Yeah, and y'all just missed it.
We just people were getting there for the last couple games, I think, and I was
That
like,
could be why it was packed too.
well, Sedona's not part of it.
Yeah, but maybe if you head out there, you'll say, "Hey, let's stay an extra
I
couple of
guess,
days,"
yeah,
and
yeah,
maybe
maybe so, yeah,
because it was a Tuesday. You said it was
yeah.
packed at the Grand Canyon, so
Could be, yeah, that could be what it is, or unless it's just always packed. And then, so we get back. We got home about midnight,
damn.
12:30, because we had a late flight in, and then the next day was opening day.
Baseball,
Yeah,
baseball. There you go.
yeah,
Opening day. Speaking of that, good transition to that.
yeah.
But good thing. Glad y'all made it back safe, man. Sounds like you had a lot of
It
fun.
was fun, but like I said, it was a working. I call it a working trip.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, no vacation.
it was to a sense, but it was a lot of walking, a lot of driving. It
But
wasn't.
vacation to me is make your own agenda, sleep in if you want, hit the pool. That was like you said, a trip.
Yeah, a
A
trip, I guess you
trip.
could say. But yeah, I guess people could say that their type of vacation is relaxing the beach,
Yeah.
like you said, waking up late.
Yeah, that's why I said just my
Yeah, yeah,
perspective of
yeah.
a vacation is relaxing a little bit. Like you said, y'all came back tired, but
Well,
a good tired.
the
You know
last
what I
few
mean?
that the last few vacations that we've taken, they've been more seeing stuff, right?
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
even told Cynthia, I said, man, the next one it's gonna be not a working vacation. It's gonna be a maybe lay on the
Yeah,
beach,
yes, 15.
lay
You
on the
just say you're
beach.
going to Mexico or something?
Yeah, but that's till 2 more years.
Okay,
Imagine we'll
okay.
probably do something before that.
So y'all picking a vacation right now? Where you talking about going for that? What you just said? Relaxing, drinking a couple
If
cocktails by the pool.
mm, maybe San Antonio, just like for us, we do like weekend trips,
Yeah, yeah,
right? And the last one we did to San Diego for Christmas, that's not normal to take a whole week. We do like weekend trips, but San Antonio, still you're running around a little bit, but I don't know because the beaches here in Texas aren't that great.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I don't know. We'll see. If anything, maybe like the hill country, like a
Some
winery
wineries and
type thing.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah, just
yeah, yeah.
wake up late and see. Just
I mean, you
maybe.
may not wake up late, but what I mean is wake up when you wake up. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
Not have
And
to rush around.
yeah, because sleeping in me is still only like 7 o'clock.
Yeah, yeah.
You know
That's
what I
true. Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So I wouldn't sleep in anyways, but just do whatever pops up. You know what I mean? Get some good food, check the locals out. But San Antonio, it's always, I think we've talked about, it's always a good getaway.
It is a good quick getaway, and it can be the relaxing trip, or it could be a
Yeah.
party trip too.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit of both,
Yeah,
party and then relax the next day.
yeah,
So, but we transitioned into opening day. Opening day, you went to opening day.
yeah,
I didn't go. And all these fair weather fans, they ruin it. All these people that are there just to party, which is
yeah,
cool, but
yeah.
they take all the fucking parking. They don't go to the game. They probably won't even watch a game until they go to the playoffs or the World Series.
But I think it's opening day, but even on a regular game, I think you see that, but just not as much.
No, I mean not on that scale. I mean,
Yeah,
game one opening day was freaking packed, sold
it
out.
wasn't as bad as I thought,
Well,
honestly.
I'm watching game two and I'm looking at the stands, and the fucking stands ain't even probably three-quarters filled. So
Opening day
that,
wasn't bad. We went late, like I said. We left store 3. Game started at 3:05, and so we're pulling up. I was expecting traffic like in Grand Prairie, right?
yeah.
But no, we drove right in.
Well, I mean, by that time everybody's there. The game's already what, second inning?
We got there right at the bottom of the second, I think.
So
And but parking, and I wasn't gonna search for parking,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
We just pulled
Whatever
up
pops up.
and we pulled in. We got the parking where all the tailgaters were. So I thought, man, it's gonna be hell getting out. But I don't think it looked. They said it was sold out, but the stadium didn't look full.
Yeah. And when I watched game two, because I was like, damn, there's not hardly that many people
I
in the
thought game two would
stands.
be more packed because it was 7 o'clock start.
Yeah, and a Friday.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But that goes to show you the parking was probably sold out, but the game probably
maybe
wasn't
so.
sold out.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
And
yeah.
I just don't like dealing with that hassle of all the tailgaters and eh.
It wasn't bad. I thought it was gonna be a lot worse.
Yeah, they lost. I was pissed. One thing that pisses me off is they did it. I think last year or the year before, but I think it was last year too. Can't even watch your fucking local team on TV, man. And
Yeah, they changed it. Now you got to pay what did you say,
a
hundred
hundred
bucks
bucks for
a
the
year?
season. But before it wasn't free either with Bally's, because they moved from Bally's network to Texas Ranger network or whatever.
See, I don't have cable, so I usually just listen to it or stream it. Um, so I never had to try to pay
Yeah,
for it or
I mean,
anything.
because like the year, they won the World Series the season back. Then last season, we're like, hell yeah, we're about to watch them win it
Yeah,
again.
yeah,
Then you go to buy it, like, oh, it's not available in your region. Like, in my region,
yeah,
motherfucker, I'm in the same region with the Texas Rangers.
yeah. Because I have the MLB app,
you
and
know?
with T-Mobile they give you free MLB, but when you go to watch it, I don't know how it works, what blackout is or whatever,
Yeah,
but they said game's blacked out.
yeah, it's such
So I'm
bullshit.
like, why is it blacked out in Dallas, right?
Yeah,
So,
it's fucking stupid. And the same network, that's where the Dallas Stars
uh-huh.
show, and the other games are free,
I heard that. Yeah.
but the Rangers are charging.
Yeah.
Saturday it came on WB 33,
Hmm.
and it just pisses me off that I haven't decided if I'm gonna buy it or not. I know
I'm
I
not.
am,
I don't think I will.
but it's like it's such bullshit. You know what I mean? I mean, I can watch the Yankees and the Mets and the Braves play all freaking day, but I can't
I think if
watch.
there was no other way to watch it, I would buy it.
Yeah,
But um I think maybe the away games will come on MLB Network because they're not local
yeah, yeah,
blackouts. Um and I have the other app that I can just watch sports on.
yeah.
It lags sometimes. When we watch games
Oh
together,
yeah,
we're
yeah.
texting each other either one of us is late or ahead or whatever. But
Yeah. Well, baseball's back. They lost the first
yeah,
game, took the next two.
they got
Today's the wrap it up for the 4 game opening series.
yeah.
Hopefully we can pull it off. Rangers looking good.
They do look good, man. They got a couple new people in there. That Burger dude, that guy, he seems like he's gonna be a clutch hitter, man. He'll be like, you know,
It
clutch ninth
it
inning
reminds me
type of
of like a
hitter.
Mike Napoli.
Yeah,
That's what he reminds me
just
of. Big white dude that just fucking goes out there and
two
balls
hits
out.
a game.
Yeah, not flashy,
He's
nothing
yeah,
about him, but he's gonna get up there and hit the
he's
shit out the
guaranteed
ball.
to get on base
Yeah.
or get an RBI fly out or something like that. So
Pilar too. I like Pilar.
yeah,
In the
yeah,
preseason, his stick was on fire, and he
yeah.
came out and he played hell. So I think we got a pretty good
Even
freaking
game
lineup.
one, the pitching, Ivaldi, he went what 6 or 7, something like that. But he had 9 strikeouts,
Yeah.
and I mean, shit,
I
that's
mean,
not
one
bad.
pitch changed the game,
Yeah,
and
yeah, that 3-run homer or
yeah, but I
whatever.
mean, it
But
had to be this. I mean, that guy ate us up for like the first two
yeah,
freaking games.
and supposedly Boston is slated. They're projected to win the American League.
I
Supposedly,
don't know how they do that
yeah,
shit. The season ain't even started. I guess I don't know, but
yeah.
should be a good season. Should be fun as long as they keep hitting the ball like they have the last 2 games. I think,
Pitching stays healthy.
yeah, that for
I
sure.
think Gray's pitching tonight. They saved
Degrom,
him. The Gray pitched yesterday, right? Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah. I
don't
know
know.
Degrom's tonight.
Yeah, the They were saving him to the final game. But yeah, it should be good. Good season. Hopefully, we get a couple more games. We usually do. We always do opening day,
Yeah,
and then maybe one or two here and there during the
yeah, yeah,
season.
yeah, yeah. I take it as it comes. If I see a day that I know I'm not gonna have to work late or we're a little slow, I'll buy some tickets and shit.
At my job, they sell them. Um, I think the next one they have is for a Dodgers, so to see Otani would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Hmm.
That one's probably gonna be pretty packed too.
Hmm.
But it's fun, it's down the street, 15, 20 minutes from the house.
Yep.
You can catch some games. It's not that expensive. And
It's now you can go. I, I think the cheapest ones that are decent, probably like $47. I think.
I think even cheaper than that.
Probably so.
I
Yeah.
mean, as the season goes on, up all the way up the top.
Yeah.
But for me, it's all a pretty good view. So
It's not bad.
nah, not at all. So I'll go to a few games. Look at the giveaways, jerseys, hats.
There's a few good ones this year. Yeah.
So I still want to give me a World Series ring. So if they're offering that this year,
I think there's a couple this year.
I may go check it out.
So
So,
what else
but
did you do this week?
man, as you see on that video, I morphed back to work, man. As you were in Arizona, I morphed to work, and I mean, same shit. Work, same old shit, man. And all I was thinking about, which our last episode hadn't dropped yet, is you know what? I need a vacation.
You
You
should.
know what I mean? So probably get a little getaway here in the next week or two. Uh, Work late, got some projects going on that I gotta try to finish up, and that's the thing is that I talk about at work, and they're like, man, I need a vacation, but I know if I'm off when I come back, I'm gonna regret that because my work just piles up. It doesn't go away.
Well, like me, I had two projects started maybe a couple weeks before I left, and so there was in the middle of getting all the everything that we needed straight for those projects.
Yeah.
But what you know, there's other people that will have to take it over if
Well, that's the
needed.
difference. I have nobody else
There
that
has
would.
to be somebody.
There ain't.
So if you go on vacation, jobs just shut down.
No, I'm working while I'm on
No,
vacation.
fuck that. I turn off my email. I turn
Yeah.
off everything. I didn't even look at it.
I mean, I ain't got a choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, I got guys on the field. I mean, there's only two people above me, which is the president and the owner. You know what I mean? So, and I got people under me. That's it. Now, my partner Dennis, he's in service. He'll help make sure my guys are busy. But as far as attending the meetings, and every week we have weekly meetings, and it's telling us what's coming up on the schedule.
Uh huh.
He ain't got time to do all that for me. So I might miss something that's really important. Hey, we're putting up the gym this week. This is the height week. Different stuff. So I've come to the realization that even when I take vacation, I'm working. I'm gonna get phone calls. The work don't stop, the progress don't stop. So I've accepted it. You know what I mean. But in those instances, I clock my hours. You know what I mean. So if I'm on vacation, I've just learned to accept it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean. Like I said, there's two people above me. The president, he ain't gonna step in and help me out. You know what I mean. And of course, obviously the owner. So
Hmm.
I line things out. My guys, they won't call me unless it's real important. But the contractors don't give a fuck if I'm on vacation.
No, I
And
know.
there'll be times I don't answer it. They'll leave a voicemail if it's something important. Then I'll hit them back. If it's not, then fuck it, they can wait.
No, I just went straight off. I turned off everything, and I know, I check the email every now and then, and there was probably something that I should have responded to, but
Yeah,
I put my out of office reply,
yeah, yeah,
so they'd have, and I put who they needed to contact if they needed something, right? So
yeah,
um, I just left all the work stuff alone.
yeah,
The
yeah,
store stuff, we have somebody there that's covering us, and she knows she can call us if she needs something, but I think she knows too, like I should handle it. I'm not gonna call them for every little thing,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like she does when we're home. Um, but there has to be something that they can do if you're not there. So there has to be.
I mean, I could leave it alone and not answer it, but I'm
Yeah,
just not that type. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I mean, she got to get done. I mean, what's a 5 minute phone call gonna kill me?
It
You know what I
depends.
mean?
Let's say, because I know we were out there, right? And I got a phone call while we were look at the Grand Canyon, and it ruins it.
Yeah.
It ruins, even though it was nothing
Well, in that case, I'm
important.
not. I don't mean like I'm gonna be in the middle of jumping off a diving board and answer my phone. I mean
That's what I
like if
mean.
they
Yeah.
call me and I get back to the hotel or I'm driving to go get something to eat, I'll call
Uh
them
huh.
back.
Yeah.
And my guys know like, hey, don't fucking call me unless it's absolutely,
Yeah.
because sometimes we might be getting ready for a state inspection, elevator inspection, something, and they might need to know, hey, how high do you need this
No, I
smoke?
get all that. I get
So,
all that stuff.
but
But at the end of the day, if you're not there, you're not there.
yeah, yeah,
They got to figure it out. Whether it's who nobody on top or somebody that step up from the bottom.
nah, I
You know what
don't
I
have
mean?
that luxury.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I've come to the realization that even if I'm on vacation, my phone may ring.
Hmm.
But it's not one of those, hey, I'm on vacation, call me if you need me. It's one of those, everybody knows I'm going on vacation. Call me if you really fucking
Yeah.
need me. So
Yeah.
they call me, it's something. Like I said, 5 minute phone call ain't gonna kill nothing.
They should get away, do
Yeah.
something.
Huh?
It's just you should get away and do something.
Yeah. But that's just the way I'm built, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like to work and work. I don't know. My thing is, I just on the weekend I just sit back and I do shit.
Yeah.
That's how I like to relax. But Myra, she's into these fucking monkeys and shit. So she wants to take a trip like to India or something and go to like the, I don't know what you call them, monkey habitats or some shit like that. So
Hmm.
for that one, we're gonna have to skip some trips to save up for that one,
Yeah.
right? She wants to do something like that. So man, for me, man, I'm bland. I'm boring. I guess people can say I'm boring. I mean, to go on vacation is cool. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not like
Yeah.
I get a vacation every week, 2 days a week. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Out of the seven, so that's how I am. You know what I mean? So I like the hustle and bustle of work. You know what I mean? I like the pressure. I like sometimes being on the, what do you call it, on the bubble. Going back and forth, arguing and shit. You know what I mean? I mean, for me, I like it. But we'll see. Maybe I'm just waiting for the kids to get out of the house and just take a vacation where we ain't got to drag none of them with us.
You can
You
already
know?
do that. They're good.
Nah, I mean, Stevie's still a kid. I'm not gonna take a vacation and leave him behind.
Oh, but Isaiah's there. It's not
No,
like he's
I'm
by
just saying,
himself.
if I'm taking a vacation, I'm gonna take my kids with me.
Well, I mean,
You
it's
know what
it's
I mean?
it's cool to get away. Like we've done little weekend
But
trips
see,
here and
we don't
there.
do the weekends. We do weeks. You know what I
Then
mean?
do a
So it's a
weekend.
vacation, and I'm not gonna leave my kid behind
Then do.
and just
Oh,
go off
okay.
with my wife. Is what I'm saying.
See, I see. I call them getaways.
Yeah, yeah. See,
Three
like that. Yeah, you and your wife. Yeah,
three
quick. Yeah,
days to me. 3 days and below is a getaway,
yeah,
right?
and like that. Yeah, me and my, like when we went to Shreveport.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me, vacation is taking the whole week off. You know what I mean? And we always do the beach, which we've done Destin, uh, Orange Beach, Alabama. We've done I forget that other place in Florida now that I think about it. But and we take a whole week.
Yeah.
But the getaways is it's kind of hard because I mean Myra works late on. I mean we just work a lot. For us, it's like rather just stay home and do nothing than drive out there and drive back. I hate spending money. It comes down to that too. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
I'm a cheap ass, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
But Myra's cool with it. Like I said, we just plop down on the couch, order some food, and watch TV. And for us, that's
Yeah.
our relaxation. But I think every year we've gone somewhere for about a week. but I'm played out on the beach, so maybe do something like that.
And like
The outdoors.
I told you what we do sometimes. What we done before is like a nice dinner and a hotel
And I thought about that, but then I'm like, and Myers the same way. Like, we'll go to dinner. Like, why we gonna waste money in a hotel? Let's just freaking go
because
home.
you get away. You get away, like you get away from the kids, and even if you don't do nothing, right? You're just there in a robe and just chilling and just maybe hit the hot tub or whatever, or the bar downstairs or something like that. Like trust me, I I've thought about that too. Like, damn, I'm just gonna stay downtown Dallas. It's a waste of money to spend 150 bucks for one night or whatever it is. Maybe not that much, but it can be, right,
Yeah,
depending on where you stay. But honestly, it's a nice change of pace. Like, you're not at home. Like, you're not. Maybe our kids really don't bug because they're older now, but you have to worry about the kids.
yeah.
You don't have to worry about this, or getting home and her wanting to clean the house. You know what I mean? Or things like that.
I'm big on too. Like, I'm not comfortable sleeping on other people. Hundreds of people have slept in that bed before me. I I can't take shits anywhere but my own house. So just the whole factor of knowing that somebody else was sitting shitting on this toilet, somebody else was sleeping on this bed, knocking it down with their wife or whatever, and I just I don't know. I don't think I'm a germaphobe,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Just
I
all
think
that.
I think you're just making excuses not to do it.
No, no, I don't need an excuse because Mara doesn't care to do it either. You know what I
But
mean?
it's like we said, maybe she doesn't say it, but
Nah, trust me, we
yeah,
go to a hotel. She takes all her cleaning supplies. She's cleaning the whole hotel,
yeah,
antibacterial all over it. She's like, I'd rather be in my own bed. You know what I mean? So, nah,
hmm,
she ain't saying it because she ain't wanting to do
right,
it. You know
right,
what I mean? Now, don't get me wrong. She likes to take vacations, but just to go get, nah, she's on the same like me. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Like I said, I guess we're just boring. You know what I mean? But that's what works for us, I guess. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Because if she really wants something, she's gonna tell me.
yeah, yeah,
She might say no at first, but then nah, we don't want it. Once I don't get the damn hint, then
hmm,
she's gonna go ahead and do it herself.
yeah,
And her thing is, when we do go somewhere, she likes to stay at the highest floor. She looks for a tall, place so we can stay at the top. And last time we were in Florida, she got the top, but she didn't realize it was like fucking 80-story fucking condo building. So
hmm.
she was even scared to walk out of the room because she's like, damn, I didn't realize
It was that high.
we never stayed this high. No, we're
Yeah,
like 10, 12 stories, and then we're
yeah,
like 80 up. She's like, oh shit.
yeah.
And then there was a fire alarm, false alarm, and we're way up there. And she's like, well, what happens if there's a fire like 10 floors behind? I'm like, then we die. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, there's no way to get down.
Yeah,
If it's between us, we ain't getting down the stairs
yeah.
depending on the fire. You ain't taking the elevator. So she's like, oh shit, I never thought about that stuff. I'm like, yeah, you're fucked.
But
So,
now, like with the Airbnbs, we kind of go that route. If it's just me and her, I like the hotel better because you leave and you come back, the room's made up and
yeah,
whatever, whatever. Airbnbs, you got to clean up and everything like that. But so we're with the family, or with Tony, we got the Airbnb. Um, but then again, we would, I guess there was hotels in the middle of the woods where we went and everything like that too. But
yeah,
I think the stay where we depends on where you're at. If you're in a
yeah,
big city, probably hotel for me.
yeah.
But if you're going somewhere with a lot of nature, probably Airbnb. So you can be like in the middle of
Yeah.
everything.
And what we do, we don't do hotels, we do condos
Okay.
because it's almost like an Airbnb. You got your kitchen, your
Yeah.
living
Yeah.
room, your room.
Yeah.
Because hotels are a waste of money. Well, for me, when you're doing long trips, whether it's 2, 3 days or a week, normally we'll do like 7, 8 days, day to travel back. Because the hotel, you're buying food almost every day,
Yeah.
breakfast, lunch, and
Hmm.
dinner. Like y'all did at the Airbnb, we do at the condos. We'll buy
Yeah.
some groceries and maybe eat breakfast at home and then eat a good dinner or
Yeah.
vice versa. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
So
Mhm.
yeah, hotels are whack. I hadn't done Airbnb because, like I said, we mostly always go to the beach and we stay in a condo where we can just walk
Yeah.
across the
Right on the
street to the
beach. Yeah.
beach. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? But it's got the same what would you call it? The same not amenities, but the same where you can cook if you want to cook.
Yeah.
You got your bedrooms with your TVs and you know what I mean. It's like I guess basically like Airbnb,
Kind of,
just
sort of, yeah.
on a higher
Just
scale.
sometimes you got a yard with the
Yeah,
Airbnb
yeah,
or
which
something.
is I've seen that. It's badass.
Yeah,
You know, if you want to barbecue, you
yeah,
fucking
uh-huh,
you barbecue.
yeah,
So yeah, that's the way to go. Hotels are a waste of money unless it's a quick trip, like you said, a big city. You know what I mean? And Seattle, New
yeah. Where you
York,
can just like your condo with the beach, the hotel with the
the
strip where
bars.
you're
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah,
at.
yeah. The
Yeah,
restaurant, like New York,
yeah.
something. You're not gonna want a fucking Airbnb out in the.
Like somewhere we want to go to also is Nashville, and
That'd be
to me, I
badass.
could say a hotel in Nashville in the middle of downtown.
Beale Street,
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, hell yeah.
so
If
you
y'all
can
plan
just,
that trip, let me know. I'd
yeah,
like to go to that one.
yeah. That's something that we're looking at too.
Yeah, that'd be pretty
And for
badass.
us, that's like a 3 day trip. It's not gonna be a week.
Yeah,
We're not
yeah.
gonna spend a
Well,
week
yeah,
in
something like
Nashville.
that.
Yeah,
You're not gonna spend a week. Like I said, we mostly do beaches.
yeah.
So, there's different shit. You hit the outskirts, hit this, you know what I mean? And 2, 3 days at the beach. But like I said, a day to travel. We don't fly, we drive, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Day to travel there, day to travel back, and like 4 days in between, you know what
Yeah,
I mean? A day to come back and relax from the vacation. So we're not out there, we're not buying like that. We're taking 7 days, all
yeah,
like that. We're including travel,
yeah,
coming
yeah.
back home and all that shit. So we need something, but like I said, I don't know what I want to do. I'm play beaches played out.
Yeah, that's why when I said relaxing trip, the beach, I'm like, where? Because like I said, ours are 3 day trips most
Yeah,
of the time. So it's like I'm not gonna drive to Galveston to go to Galveston Beach. Florida's probably too far to drive for a 3 day trip.
yeah, that's 24 hours.
So
Well,
it's
that's
just like
16.
Nashville. That's not a relaxing trip because you're gonna want to do stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why I'm thinking maybe Hill Country or something, just 2 days or
And I
something.
guess maybe it's different for you guys because y'all own businesses, so y'all can't just shut down for a week. I'm assuming, or y'all could if y'all wanted
We
to.
have when we went to San Diego, we didn't shut down. We have people to cover for us. That's why we normally don't take a week
Yeah,
off.
yeah, yeah.
You
It's
know
a
what I
lot of
mean?
moving
Yeah.
parts
So
to make that happen.
that's why we do those getaway trips,
Yeah.
3 days.
Normally, what I do, I don't like people already know I don't take days off, so I save all my time for the summer when the kids
Yeah.
are off,
Mhm.
and we use our PTO time. You
So
know what
yeah,
I mean?
like those 3 day trips, sometimes I don't even use
Yeah,
vacation time because we're doing a maybe a holiday or a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which maybe I could just burn one day if that.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So I save up the other stuff like when Chris comes home or something like that. But um, that's why I like those 3 day trips.
yeah, yeah,
Cynthia will close her schedule for those days. We'll tell the lady, hey, can you cover us for the weekend? And sometimes she'll need a weekend off too. So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
vice versa, and knock out, go somewhere real quick and come back.
yeah, yeah. See, my next trip, I want to either do like a cruise or I want to go out the country. Myers got this India shit, monkey sanctuaries. I'm like, yeah, okay,
Like
20.
for me to leave the country, there's a lot as we've gone to like Colorado, Utah, now Arizona, of course, California and Florida. There's a lot here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but I want to get out the country. I mean, I can always go here.
You
You know what
can,
I
but you
mean?
you you can, but you don't.
Yeah, because that don't interest me. I don't
Oh,
want to.
okay. It doesn't interest you.
Yeah, you
Okay.
know what I mean. Arizona, that trip, I'd go to the Vegas side, which don't even care about Vegas, but there's a
Yeah, I
lot of
see
stuff to
there.
do in Vegas that
Yeah.
I didn't
Uh
see,
huh.
like the Mobster Museum.
Right.
Speaking of that, I watched Goodfellas last night. No matter how many times I watch it, how that movie is, we sit there and watch it like we've never fucking
Right.
watched it
Yeah.
before. You
That's a
know what I
good
mean?
movie. Yeah.
But besides the Grand Canyon, I wouldn't have been with the trails. I mean, it'd be cool
Yeah.
if we were. I don't know. It'd be cool if I was there, but I wouldn't plan it to go. Not because it's not interesting. Probably have to is because I'm out of shape. I wouldn't make it
Yeah.
anyways.
I mean, people.
You know what I
Some
mean?
people, when we talk about that, they're like, "Oh no, I wouldn't do that."
No, it's cool
That's
shit.
but
Yeah,
there's not for them. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah.
But I would do it if everybody was like, "Hey, man, we're all taking a trip out here.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
plan it out next year." Something like that. I'd be like, "Okay, cool." But just to go on the fly, but nature is badass. Just the trail is not my thing. Like I'd
Yeah.
like to
Yeah.
do some zip lines through some fucking forest or something like that. Some whitewater rafting. Like I said, with not Wichita Falls, Niagara Falls, and
Yeah.
I'd like to see that shit. I'd like to see the Grand Canyon. I just don't know if I would be able to make 3 or 4 days trip out of it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I don't know what I like. And when I say out of the country, I've been like tropical. You know what I mean? You
Okay.
can't
Yeah.
get that tropical here.
Nah.
You know what
Mm-mm.
I mean? Maybe who knows if I can ever afford it, but one of them villas that's in the water,
Yeah.
some shit like that, some badass clear ass water, you know what I mean? Which I know we got the oceans here too, but just something different, you know what I mean? Get a massage while my massage bed is in the water type shit and but who know? I don't know what I want to do because me and Meyer look at shit differently.
Yeah.
But like I said, some whitewater, maybe Colorado. I think you can get all that shit done. Some whitewater
Yeah.
rafting,
Uh
some
huh.
zip lining through some fucking mountains or something.
Yeah.
Something fun
Mm-hmm.
versus just sitting my ass down on the beach. And, the
Yeah.
beach is so messy. It takes so much to set up, and then they break it all back down. You got sand all over your shit. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just, and I don't like the feeling of being wet. So driving in the car with wet shorts, nah, that shit's played
Just
out.
change before you leave
Where?
in the restroom.
They all
That's how we
packed,
went to
man.
San Diego. We did that, and you're right. It sucks. You got sand in your balls or whatever, and then
Who said sand on your balls?
trying to drive back to the hotel or whatever, wherever you're staying. But yeah, there's a shower.
Yeah,
You take a shower on the beach with your clothes on because it's outside, and then you just go into the restroom and change.
it's normally packed, but it's just more drama. Now you got to carry clean clothes. Now you got fucking bags of wet clothes, and
Yeah, yeah.
go back to the spot, and you're hanging everybody's clothes are out. Just too much drama. Been there, done that,
See,
and
there's the two perspectives. I think is worth all that versus not worth it.
yeah. I mean, once I'm sitting on the beach, chilling, drinking a cold one, yeah, that's
Yeah, yeah.
that's good shit. You know what I mean? It's relaxing, it's peaceful, but just all the drama leading up to it, I'm like, I ain't with this shit.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean because it is a hassle carrying everything back and forth and then finding parking and walking over to where you're gonna be at or whatever. And if it's packed somewhere packed, then then you
Yeah,
gotta worry about can I leave my shit here while I go in the water. It's a lot of
yeah,
stuff that you think about as part of it.
yeah.
So I know what you mean.
For me, I'm like, even I think Stevie's the same way. Like, man, we got the pool right here. What are we gonna go do all that drama? Let's just go sit by the pool. Well, we're at the beach. Why we gonna
Yeah,
sit at the
yeah.
pool? Fuck
But
it.
I like boardwalks, like at the beach, just walking,
Yeah, we did that in Florida. That was
seeing
cool.
the shops. I like doing that, and even if you don't go to the beach, you're at the beach.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love that shit. The
yeah,
boardwalks, buying souvenirs, having a drink,
yeah.
walking around. But the kids and Mara was, oh, let's go to the beach one more time. I'm like, fuck, whatever. So we'll see where we're going this year, 2025. It ain't been decided.
So you usually take a summer trip.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah. That's what we do. So we'll see what we do this year. I'm not quite sure, but we'll figure it out. I'm sure this year we'll stay in the country. We ain't leaving the
not
country,
yet,
not just
not
yet.
yet.
So I think that one will be left for me and Myra. Like I said, with Stevie at home, and we're not gonna take a vacation and leave him. The other ones, fuck it. If
Yeah,
y'all can go, y'all can go. Y'all got jobs, y'all got money.
yeah,
Come on, y'all more than welcome. But Stevie, we're kind of obligated to drag his ass around
yeah.
for
Like a
a couple
7 day
more.
trip.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, like an actual vacation
yeah,
family.
yeah,
But I've never done it with all my whole family, all six of us, because these kids over here, certain situations occurred that we could not be together, all six of us. So I'm thinking, and I brought up to Myers going to that Broken Bow
mm-hmm,
out in Oklahoma, get a
mm-hmm.
cabin where you can fish, do all
Yeah,
kinds of shit, and take all six of us out to
yeah,
somewhere close where there's not too much travel.
yeah,
Maybe rent a fucking church van or something, load everybody up. Now we got the grandbaby and some girlfriends or whatever the fuck they are. So now our six is like nine, I think.
close to 10 maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
66, 7, 8, nine, about nine.
yeah,
Yeah. So depending if they bring their
mm-hmm.
significant others or not, you know what I mean? So yeah, we're growing. That's for damn sure. So I'm thinking of something like that this year. Keep it close where hopefully everybody can make it, get time off of work and shit like that. You know what I mean? So that'd be cool. We've I think in Alabama we were all there, but Josh and Nene were there with their mom. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Because it was for baseball,
uh-huh.
and so maybe Broken Bow this year. I heard some pretty good little spots
I
to go
forgot
to.
where we went for when Christopher graduated, we rented a lake cabin in Texas, um, for like 4 days, and we were like the backyard was a lake,
Yeah.
and it
See.
was badass, and that was cool. We swam every day. It was an Airbnb, so we just bought a shitload of groceries and
Yeah. Hell
cooked
yeah.
breakfast every morning, and we didn't have to go nowhere. I think we went in. There was a little town, so
Yeah.
there was really nothing anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think we went out once to get some barbecue or something, but other than that, we stayed there like
Yeah.
for
See,
four
something
days,
like that, I'd be down for. You know
and it
what I'm
was
saying?
big enough for I think 15 people.
Yeah. Well, I don't have to get up and drive. I can, if I'm asleep, kids are already getting up doing something on the,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that was really
Where
cool. I
everybody's not
forgot the
like,
name of
oh,
the
mom and
street.
dad are getting ready.
Uh huh.
Like Broken Boy, wherever y'all
Yeah.
went. You might have to give me the name of where y'all went. Where, if I'm laying down there, I want to relax. There's still shit the kids have to do. I
Yeah.
don't have to drive them around. So yeah, something like that, man. The kids are getting older. I'm sure it'd be kind of hard for you with Chris being older and doing his thing to everybody to kind of coordinate.
And we're
Tony.
trying that too, and that's why we went to San Diego for Christmas so we can all be together. But I think we were looking at a trip where he can meet us over there,
Yeah,
and we'll take the kids and he'll just meet us there and
yeah.
something like that.
A lot of coordination with you. You got Chris out there. Tony's doing his thing. Nikki's getting ready to
Yeah.
graduate. So I'm sure. I don't know how he is as far as can y'all just plan things and hey, you're coming, or is he like, I got this going on, I got that going on. You know what I mean?
Nicolas?
Yeah,
Nah, he's down, but this wasn't his type of trip.
yeah, yeah,
Him and Bear are not the ones who walk in trails,
yeah,
and this, even though it was really nice, this was not their
yeah.
kind of
No,
trip.
as far as like being a senior, no, Dad, me and my friends got this
Oh
plan.
no,
You know
he's
what I mean?
down. No, he's down. He'll
Okay, so
go.
pretty
Yeah,
much I can say, hey, we're going here, and
yeah.
he's okay, okay. I didn't know he's booked and busy. How they be saying, you know what I mean?
No, I think one thing that they're homebodies, so it's not like
Yeah,
Nick goes out and does stuff, but we told him, we're gonna go to San Antonio, or let's say we're gonna take a trip to wherever,
yeah,
then he's really not tied down to anything where he
that's good.
can't go.
And how they do by themselves? Cool. Everything
Yeah,
went
we
well.
gave them some money so they can get food. They had to go to school, so we didn't want them to miss school. But yeah, they drive to school every day in the morning, anyways.
Yeah,
And come home and after. So their routine was the same.
yeah. Just without y'all here.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I got you. I got you. Yeah, that would seem like a good trip for you guys. Like I said, I'd like to see the Grand Canyon. I just don't know. I mean, shit, I got a bad back, bad knees. I'll fucking come back and need a week off just to get my body back together.
It took me
But
like
good
two
shit
days.
though.
It took me like 2 days, especially because went to the Ranger game the next day. I think what was that Thursday, Friday? I was dying. Like just I got home and just knocked out Friday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's good shit. Like you said, I mean, there's a lot of shit in the U.S. to
I
see.
think so, and especially because, like I said, we do getaways.
Yeah,
So, like you said, to go out of the country, it's gonna take some more effort and coordination. So we do these little getaways, and maybe Nashville or something like that. It's a quick 3 days. I knew a guy. He would take day trips and come back. He went to like New York. He would go to New York early in the morning, catch the earliest flight,
yeah.
and he'd go in the city. He went to a Yankees game and did some stuff afterwards and flew back home.
I mean, if you got the money, yeah, why not? I
But he
mean,
didn't spend that much money. You know what I mean? Of course, he bought a ticket to the game. He ate street food, or ate what pizza or hot dog or whatever in the street. And he didn't have to pay for a hotel. He didn't have to pay for all that other stuff.
you're still looking at least probably $500 for the day.
For New York, probably so. Yeah,
Airfare
yeah,
to and
yeah.
from, ticket, food. So like I said, if you got the money to spend $500 just on a quick getaway, I guess so. But no, like you said, I mean that's a good thing. Have little getaways here and there throughout the year, kind of makes up for it. But like I said, we got PTO. I know with Chori's and Cynthia's spot. Ain't no PTO, so
It's tough, for her,
yeah,
especially like to close down her books for a weekend, especially because those
yeah,
are her
yeah,
busy times. So it's just little sacrifice to go do something and get out of
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah. So I get it. Like I said, two different scenarios. You know what I mean? So, but we'll see. Maybe, like I said, maybe Broken Bow this year. Like I said, I like to fish. You kind of outdoorsy,
Hmm.
ATVs or whatever the fuck, everything's right there,
Yeah.
where you're not driving around with the whole shit. Like I said, we got a clan of almost 9, 10 now, so I like to do that before they get too old. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So we'll see how that goes. Maybe Broken Bow. Shout out Broken Bow. Is it worth going or what? I know a lot of people started going the last few years.
A lot of people go. We've looked at it. It's kind of high, especially when you have to rent a big house
Yeah,
for. We got 6, 7 sometimes. But when you're looking at that many people, it gets a little high.
yeah. Hey, mine are almost all grown. Well, all three of them are grown. They pitch into. Hey, you're
Yeah.
bringing your girl. You're bringing your baby.
Yeah.
Hey, this is what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
as adults, that's usually how it goes. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, you're my kid, but fuck, you're an adult now, so
Yeah.
pitching, it's $1,000. I'll pay 500. Y'all pay the other one. Y'all
Yeah.
split the other 500 amongst yourselves.
Hmm.
Not like, all right, y'all paying half. It's 1,200. Okay, how many people you got with you?
Yeah. Yeah.
But pitch something then. I
Yeah.
mean, come on, they grown men now. Stevie, he's the lucky one. He ain't got to pay shit. But so we'll see how it goes, man. I need to. We talked about it on the last episode. I need to. Yeah, I guess I'm wound tight. But that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I've always preached hard work pays off, but I've got the hard work done. I just need the payoff part to
And that's where
come
we're
into
at
play.
right now. I mean, we've been doing the store for almost 20 years now. And it wasn't until probably the last 3, 4 years that we've finally been able to do stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So
once we started, it's like, fuck, what
yeah,
else can we do now? What
yeah,
where are we gonna do now? Let's take more time off. So once you get in that mode, it's just like, you know what, I can get away.
yeah.
You know?
But like I said, for me, I get off on a Friday. My idea of just relaxing, just I'm not doing shit. Watch the movies, hang out with the kids, go outside, throw something on the grill. I like to sit on the back patio, play a little music, enjoy the weather. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So for me, I guess the hustle and bustle of like that trip, or even when we go on a regular vacation of driving here, going there, kind of I don't like it. You know
yeah.
what I mean? I'm like, So we'll see how it goes, but I don't know. I need a vacation though. I know that. It's a matter of me pulling the fucking trigger. It's all on me. I
It's
gotta
it.
admit,
Yeah, just
a hundred
pulling the
percent,
trigger. Yeah,
it's on me
yeah.
because Myra will go wherever I go. You know what I mean? She's not gonna put. I mean, like I said, she's not bugging, and if she wanted to, she could plan it herself.
Right,
Because
right, right.
when I want to do something, she does it.
Yeah.
Like what was it the other day? We couldn't watch the Ranger game. I'm like, here, find out how the fuck I can watch the game.
Hmm.
And I go outside and have me a beer. And, she's like, here, I got the game on. So if I wanted to take, hey, let's take a trip, she's gonna be the one booking
Right.
everything and doing all that
Hmm.
shit anyway. So, but at the same time, if I said, hey, we're gonna do this, she'll be all for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, it is what it is. So I just got to pull the trigger,
Yeah.
man.
Plus,
And
we're April now, so it's about that time to start planning the summer trip.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So comment below where y'all going for the summer
Yeah,
trip.
make some suggestions.
Yeah.
Where should I go if I finally pull the trigger on taking some time off? Texas, within how many states are 48?
50.
No, I'm talking about in the
You can
inside.
go to Alaska and
I
Hawaii
know, but
too.
I'm talking about what do they call it?
48.
Inter
Intercontinental
intercontinental
48.
48.
Yeah.
Because you go to Alaska or Hawaii, it's like you're going overseas.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, of course, it's the United States, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like you can drive there.
Well, don't drive. Take a flight.
No, but I'm just saying. I'm talking about in the
Yeah. Okay.
intercontinental.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without
48.
taking an airplane, without taking a flight, you can drive where's somewhere that I should go. Name some places or a quick flight. You know what I'm saying? Anybody out there work for airlines? Give me a discount. Maybe I will take a flight.
We want sponsor.
Yeah, but what's a good trip? Good getaway like JJ does, 2 3 days. What's something you would suggest, or for a week long, 4 or 5 days?
Summer
What would you
trip.
suggest? Let us
Yeah.
know because
Yeah.
I need some suggestions. So I'm going to pull this trigger. Get these gray hairs are getting grayer. Maybe I take some time off and save a few black ones.
Yeah.
That I got left. So, but it's coming. Like I tell everybody at work, I don't take days off during the year because I like to take it all at one time. So that time is coming.
Yeah.
But hell, may not be a summer trip. May find something that we can do where it's cold.
Yeah, that's true. Because we want to go back to Colorado in the wintertime.
Yeah. So something like that. Who
Yeah.
knows? So make some suggestions. Seattle. That's something
Seattle
I've
looks
wanted to
nice. Yeah.
check out.
Hmm.
Seattle. California. I don't know.
I
It's
know what
good.
you mean about Cali. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think I'd rather go to Florida. than California.
I don't.
But I've never
Yeah,
experienced
yeah,
California how
yeah,
you have
yeah,
either.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know which one is weed legal in. That's the one I guess I'd go to.
I think California.
Well, we know that one. I
Yeah,
just don't
I
know
don't know
Florida.
about Florida. I'm not
I don't
sure.
know. So, but not that I'm just asking for a friend. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Not asking for myself out there.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Well, the one that was legal, I'm going to the other one.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I
No,
go to the one that is illegal. That's why I was asking. But now we'll see, man. You know, I do need it. I know Myra needs it. I mean, we all need it. I mean, you've got to unwind and what's the word I'm looking for? Not
decompress,
decompress. There you go,
decompress. Yeah,
decompress. Even for the kids,
yeah,
you know, people don't understand school and all that shit. You know, it's that's their job too. So
yeah,
kids need something to decompress
yeah.
too. So make some suggestions out there, man. Let us know what you think. You know, I know, the whole Colorado thing. JJ, made some good suggestions. I know you made that video. You know, that informative video that might help some people going out there.
I just thought I wanted to try something new. Like when we were looking up stuff, people were saying stuff, but with no, with no, people with no plan. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So I'm gonna see if I post it. I might chop it up a little bit, but we'll see.
Yeah, yeah. Throw some pictures in there.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I mean? That's
mhm,
what I was waiting for.
yeah,
But very informative, because I mean, when you brought it up to me, I said, "Well, let the viewers,"
yeah,
because you might have some outdoorsy people that
yeah,
you know what I mean. You might have some people that don't know nothing out of Oak Cliff that may not
yeah,
watch
yeah,
it. But hey, put some nature shit. When I
yeah.
saw that, I was thinking more two bros outdoors adventures or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
But I think it. You can, if you wanted to like post something too, like your little, if you want to do like a cooking thing, let me know. Just record it and we can chop it up.
Yeah,
Post it or whatever. It doesn't always have to be that, or just we can just start posting stuff. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. But if you're headed on your way out there, like I said, Jay just got some pointers. If it interests you, he had a blast out there with the family.
It was fun. Yeah,
You
it's a
know,
different kind of. But like I said, we when we told people what we're doing, they're like, a few people were like, "Oh, I wouldn't do that."
nah.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah, yeah, and I didn't see it that way. I just looked at it like, damn, I'd like to go to the Grand Canyon. I just ain't built to do all the trail shit. You
And
know what I
they
mean?
are tough. You know what I mean?
And I know
They're
you and
tough.
Cynthia on your health kick, which I need to be. I've been watching these videos. I'm like, shit, I need to lose some damn weight. But the camera, it's true. Camera has 30
It
pounds.
does. It
That's
does.
30 pounds.
Yeah.
But y'all on that health kick, so that's something cool.
Yeah.
I mean, if Isaiah or somebody was into that shit, we do the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you don't ever realize what's cool and fun until you do it.
Or it was cool and fun for you.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
until you do it.
Yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
sometimes you experience those things through other people. You're like, oh shit. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So good shit, man. Glad the nephew had a good birthday. That's
Yeah.
what it
He
was
had a
all
good
about.
birthday.
Y'all put your sleep aside, y'all rest
Big
aside
time. Yeah.
to make your kids happy. That's what
Yeah.
parents do. So hey, I commend y'all on that shit. You know what I mean? And Anthony, into different things. That's good
He
stuff.
is.
You know
He
what I
is.
mean?
It was his 21st, and he didn't care about drinking or
Mm.
anything like that, so it's all good too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I had a few out there.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Hey, you like to drink, so if you
Yeah.
don't, hey, better for me. I ain't got to pay for that one.
Yeah.
So, but good stuff, man. Good stuff. Like I said, I need to start planning something. It's coming around, so
Yeah. Summer be here quick.
yeah, we'll see where I go. So tired of morphing, jumping over the camera, morphing into my office. So you know what I mean. That's an
That's true.
everyday fucking occurrence. I wake up and
Yeah.
next thing you know, I'm at fucking at work. So
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes, though, man. Hopefully, I live to be able to, and tomorrow's never promised. So I need to start taking advantage of
Yeah.
my hard work. You
Yeah.
know what
For
I mean?
real.
So, when I die, I'm gonna have all my pictures on my funeral reels gonna be at home and shit. Let me get one
Or at
next to
work,
a palm
an
tree or some shit.
office.
Yeah, at the office. Nah, we got plenty from Florida, but we did Vegas. Vegas, same way like you said about Grand Canyon. Been there, done that. Nah,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck to go back to
Yeah. I'm not a
Vegas. So
Vegas person either. So.
so I guess it takes a lot to excite me. But like I said, I'm old, so I'm old man. I'm fucking boring, I guess. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe I'll have a spurt like y'all, because it's like y'all hit, like you said, y'all hit that one, and y'all just been going and
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
since. Kind of like what I said with Kathy. It's like y'all hit that second breath, I guess what they call, or I don't
I
know what you
think
can.
no. I think it's more we finally had time and we made the effort to take time off, and
Yeah,
that's why I keep telling you it's
yeah,
possible. Like
yeah,
you
yeah.
just had to make we worked hard for so many years, and we were like, finally, like, let's try to do something, and we it worked. You know,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
a 3 day trip is possible with the business and work and kids and everything like
And
that.
just planning it out.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
just, I think the first one was, she has a we have the Southwest app,
Okay.
and it came up, wanting to get away, and it was like $80 one way, and that was the first. That's when we went to Colorado.
Mm.
We're like, oh shit, it's only $80 to go out there. Let's go, and we didn't have a plan. We just
Yeah.
saw that it was cheaper to go, so we took off.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're to looking at maybe I'm gonna download that.
Yeah,
On another note, before we get ready to close out, as some of y'all know, I am an ordained minister.
that's
You know
true.
what I
Yeah,
mean? Thanks to JJ,
yeah.
how long ago was that?
5 years now.
Damn, 5 years. I got ordained to, I guess you got what, renew your vows or
Yeah,
what?
renewed
For
vows.
his 20. Well, I got a call. Somebody wants me to do their daughter's wedding.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. So we'll see. Baby G, right, my
Yeah.
homeboy? His daughter's getting married. The husband is atheist.
Uh huh.
His family,
Yeah.
she's Catholic. I mean, in between, accepting each other. Love has no boundaries.
Right. Right.
So they don't want to do a church wedding.
Yeah. Yeah.
So who else they gonna call?
Nice.
Not Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're gonna call me. He remembered, asked me if I was still ordained. I said, brother, I'm ordained for life, my brother,
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
son.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's funny because I got an email saying, "Hey, Reverend Stephen, it's your 4 year
Yeah.
anniversary." So he asked me how much I charge. I said, "You know what, man? I've been knowing this guy from freaking what am I 43? So I've probably been knowing him for 33 years. You know what I mean? So the man, I do it for free. You can't
Yeah.
charge for love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's no price to put on love, so I don't charge. But I do require a mandatory $500 donation.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Donation.
But I don't
Donation.
charge. It's free. It's free. But there
Yeah.
is a mandatory donation. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, I told him I do it for no charge, man. It's my pleasure to marry his daughter, and I take it serious. So, I told him I need to meet them, see if they want to incorporate anything. I know he doesn't believe what she believes. If there's
Right.
any prayers or whatever, and I got to fill some time up. It's
Yeah.
not easy. You don't just go
Yeah.
in there and say, "Do you take this one? Do you take
Yeah.
that one?" I do, and kiss and get the
Yeah.
fuck out. You know what I mean? And,
Right.
with you it was a little bit different. I knew you. You know what I mean? I don't know them. I know the dad. So that's pretty cool. He called me. So, hit me up, Reverend Stephen. I marry and I bury. You know what I mean? I do bar
Yeah.
mitzvahs here and there. But
Any kind
marry
of
and bury,
ceremony.
that's my specialty. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
That's
So
true, because you always do the eulogies.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I always do the eulogies, but officially I can do the whole funeral.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
got that coming up. What are we? March, April, May 17th. So I got to start getting ready for that. You know what I mean? I did tell him as the officiating. What do you call it? The officiator
Yeah.
or whatever, that I do require that I am invited to the bachelor party.
Okay.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
I don't spend a dollar. That's just one of the
Yeah.
requirements. I
Yeah.
have to make sure you don't get out of hand. It's all for purpose.
Yeah.
For marital
You're
purposes.
right. You're
You
right.
know what I
You're right.
mean? And so we'll see how that goes, man. I'm pretty excited. Like I
That's
said,
cool. Yeah.
it'd be pretty cool. I mean, I've known him since before she was born.
Yeah.
So full circle. I'll be marrying his daughter. I got none but W's on my record.
That's
So
true.
I gotta interview them, make sure I don't need no divorces on my record. You know what I mean? I can go undefeated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how that goes, man. I do take that serious though. So
You do.
I'll be getting
I
ready
can
to
attest to that.
I'll be getting ready to write some shit down and try
Yeah.
to fill, I guess, 30 minutes of time. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So I was thinking that if I should pass a collection plate around or like a little thing with donation.
Yeah.
But like I told him, I said, maybe I'll get some customers, because if I get one customer, the potential is to have them 2 times.
Yeah.
So I can marry them, and if I outlive them, I can bury them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a 2 for 1. You know what I mean? So we'll see. But anyways, like I said, that was pretty cool. He asked me to do that.
Cool.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And man, out of all my friends, that's the only person I still keep in touch with
Yeah.
out of anybody
So
growing
anybody
up.
out there needs to get
Married
backyard married or something
or
like
buried.
that, hit him up. Hit up Steven from Two Bros.
Yep,
He got
Reverend,
you.
Reverend. Yes,
He
I
got
can
you.
do it
And I can
myself.
attest he did a good job at our renewals, and I'm sure you do good at Baby G's
Yeah.
daughter's
And
marriage
that's why
too.
I did it. JJ was like, "Hey, we want to renew our vows.
Yeah.
Are you down to get ordained and married?" You know me, man. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, I fucking do. First of all, I was honored. Second, of all, I'm like, hell yeah, put some on the resume. You know, like my brother-in-law, he sees these videos and he's like, man, you're comfortable in front of the mic. I'm
yeah,
like, well, I guess, even at our get-togethers, it's
yeah,
like I don't have a mic in front of me, but I've usually got
yeah,
telling some type of story to
yeah.
somebody.
Pretty much,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? So, but other than that, man, what else you got, man?
That's it. I think this week is gonna be a normal week back to work. So I'm gonna have to open up all those emails and see what the hell's going on.
Hell
So,
yeah.
but back to it. It's gonna be tough. Probably getting started tomorrow, but
Hey, that's
back
what
to
it
it.
is.
Yeah.
We're gonna have two episodes drop this week,
Yeah,
or
he's working on the last one.
okay.
He didn't take his computer out there, so he didn't edit nothing. So
Well, hell, by the time this one drops, what I just asked ain't even gonna
it ain't
matter
gonna matter.
because.
Yeah. So
So, anyways, I forget how this shit works. We ain't live. You
yeah.
know what I
So
mean? So, real quick, a lot of shit going on in Dallas, man. Yellow Beezy got locked up. I know JJ don't keep up with that shit, but Mo3, have you been keeping up? I know it's
I
been
heard
all in
about
the
it,
news.
but yeah,
I know you don't keep up
yeah,
with the rappers, but
yeah,
it's been the craziest, which I don't really. They ain't big time rappers. But it's something that happened in Dallas. Fool got knocked down right there on 35
yeah. I remember
in the
that.
middle of traffic. And Yellow Beezy, he's, I guess, a multi platinum artist or whatever the fuck you call it. And got locked up because he hired the guys. I mean, come on, a bunch of stupid ass rappers right now, man, getting locked
Yeah,
up because they don't want to leave the streets and they get on the line online and in their music and they snitch on themselves. So Yellow Beezy, what they call it? I don't know if you watch the Breakfast Club. You the donkey of the day, man. He
donkey
had
of
all
the
that money.
day.
You the donkey of the day, man, and
Yeah,
you about to get locked up for murder for hire, man. So
crazy
it
shit.
is what it is. Crazy shit.
Yeah,
Stick that out there. A lot of going on in Dallas as far as that goes. It's been all over the news and all that shit. So, but like I said, gunned him down the middle 35. I don't know if you saw the
I
video.
remember what a few years ago, right?
Well, they just came out with a whole new.
Oh, I didn't see the new
Right
video.
behind his car was 18 wheeler with like HD fucking camera.
Yeah,
I mean, dude. I mean, it's regular traffic. Fucking dude literally puts his car sideways, stops traffic. Fucking, they found like 48 shells and just fucking
yeah,
gunned him down the middle of 35. And
that's crazy.
now he's snitching. You know what I mean? Because it's like, hey, I'm in prison. You going to the Super Bowl? You going to the
Yeah,
All Star
yeah,
game? You
yeah,
fuck no. You about to be in here with me. So,
yeah,
you know, I don't know. Back in the day, you do a crime by yourself. There's nobody to snitch on you these days. They want to tell the world, and then they
yeah.
wonder why the fuck they get locked up. So, anyways, donkey of the day, Yellow Beezy.
Donkey of
You know
the
what I
day.
mean? That's something going on in Dallas. For all my people that keep up with that shit. So it is what it is. Other than that, man, I think it's another good episode. You know what I mean? Unless you got anything else.
No, I'm good.
All right, well, hit that outro.
All right, y'all have a good one. Tune in next week. We'll get the episodes dropped as soon as we can. Get some editing done, and shout out to Anthony Animates. He's working hard on our stuff. And shout out to Steven if you need a minister or get married or buried, like you said.
Married to Barry.
And we'll see you next time.
Salute.